Hey guys, it's Emil again. Today is Wednesday, May 15th, and it's my second week on T. It's also the day of my second injection, so what I thought I'd do in this video is set up my shot and show you how I administer it. So give me a minute and I'll get set up. Okay, so what we'll be needing for today's shot is one of these, which is the 18 gauge larger needle, which you use to draw. You'll be needing one of these, which is a 23 gauge safety needle, and you'll be needing one of these, which should just be the syringe, but the pharmacy that I got my prescription from didn't have the right size needle that I needed, so I needed to get a syringe with a needle already in it, and then the needles themselves. And you'll be needing your tea, and if you've already used your tea before, you'll need an alcohol swab. So what you do, I'm going to lift this up a little bit so that I can work. What you do is you open up your alcohol swab and you swab off the top of your bottle, and I leave that on there so that I can tell that I've actually swabbed it before. If you're neurotic like me, you forget and do it about 5 times if you don't. And what you want to do first is open up this needle. And what you do is you open it up just like this. You leave it so that there's enough room for you to grab it, but not enough room for it to get contaminated, because this is all sterile. So you leave it right like that. And I'm going to open up the other ones too, just so that I have everything all set up. And you want to open up your main needle. This should remain sterile, so what you do is you want to keep it right in there, and this twists right off, and we don't really need this. This will be going in my sharps container, so we can just set this down. We don't need to worry about that being sterile because we don't use that needle. So what you want to do is you want to take this 18 gauge needle, open it up more. You want to grab here, never touch the colored part because that's supposed to be sterile, since that's actually going in the needle. And you want to make sure that there's no air in the needle, and then you just screw it on. If you can see, this is a very thick needle, like compared to my finger it's incredibly big, and this is what I thought I was going to be injected with, but it's not. So what you do, I'm going to lift this up a little bit. Hey guys. So you take this and you make sure that the swab's on it. You take your needle, and mine has increments in it of like 1/2, 1, 1.5. Sometimes they have the actual amount. So what you do is you take it up and you draw the amount that you need in air. So I have 1/2. So you draw it right to the second little line of the black thing. You don't go to the point, that's to help with the air. So you draw that. You take this, and you want to go like this, and you poke it right in there. Make sure that it's not in the liquid right now because you don't want to make any bubbles, and then you push the air right in. Okay? So you push the air in, and that pressurizes it because this is a vacuum. And then you flip it over. Make sure that your needle is in the solution, and then you draw the amount that you need. So I'm going to draw up. And there's a little bit of a bubble here, so what I want to do is I want to flick it until that bubble gets to where I want. Or if there's a bubble, which there is in this one, I'm not very good at drawing without bubbles. You want to draw a little bit more. So we're going to draw just about that much more. And then push right back out so that bubble is no longer there. Alright, and then once you've done that, you turn it to the side, you pull out, you got that, you got this. This you don't need anymore, so you just set it on down. Make sure that I didn't put any bubbles in it while trying to do that. Yeah, there's no bubbles in there, so that's good. And then what you want to do is you want to switch out your needle. So you just cap this, screw it off. You want to keep this upright. You don't want to spill it, because that would be bad. This is also now not needed. It'll go in my sharps container. And then we want to take the safety needle, and then you just want to screw it right on. I'm going to check to make sure there are no bubbles. No, we did good. No bubbles this time. So, there you go. And then all you do is you uncap it. And this is my needle. And what we'll do is I'll set the computer back up, and then I'll show you how I inject. Okay, so I apologize for the horrible mess that is my dorm room. We set up for a tournament that involved making stuff out of cardboard. So my room's currently covered in cardboard, but I at least think I'll have enough room to show you guys how I do the shot. Oh, you get to see me on my underwear. How scandalous. Alright, so what you want to do for your injection is you want to take, set this down, you want to take your thigh and break it up into 3 parts. There's the lower part, the middle part, and the upper part. You want to take the middle part because that's where the largest amount of muscle is. So what you do is you take another alcohol pad and you want to clean off in a circular motion going outward, sort of like a spiral, just to make sure that that area is nice and clean. And then you want to take this part, pinch it with one hand. With the other hand, you want to push in. Okay? So let me just, you want to do that. And you push in, and then I'm going to draw out a little bit to make sure I haven't gotten a blood vessel. No blood, that's good. As soon as you do that, you can start to inject. You want to go nice and slow. Okay. Then you want to draw out. Put some pressure on there. You want to get a Band-Aid. Awesome. You've done your injection. Alright, so now that we've injected, the last thing to do is to put all of your sharps into this sharps container. I have a sharps container because I also have a roommate that injects other medications. You can get a sharps container from a hospital. You can ask for one and they'll give it to you. Or what you can do is you can also use a coffee can or anything that can really have a lid and is sturdy. And then you get rid of your sharps at a hospital. You just bring them into like the emergency department and say, hey, I'd like to get rid of these, and they'll take them off your hands. So, one last thing that I wanted to show you that was kind of cool is the needle that I used. What you do is, this is a safety needle, and what makes it a safety needle is that there's this little switch. When you flip it, it goes up to the top so that it can't stab anyone, which is pretty cool, and you don't really need the cap anymore. The cap can go in the sharps container as well. So, and then you just twist it off. This can go in the trash. This can also go in the trash. These are not reusable, so generally what I do is I just store it right in with everything else, because it's a biohazard like everything else. And yeah, so that's that. We've done our injection. So I guess now that I've done that part of the video, I should sort of give you guys an update on what my second week on T has been like. Not very many changes as of yet. I mean, I've had a little bit of acne breakout, but nothing that is horrible. It's sort of the same amount of breakout that you get around the time that you would be having your period. So it's nothing terrible as of yet. It's pretty maintainable. I've had a lot of an increase in appetite. I'm hungry all the time, which is not a huge change. I mean, I'm a college student, I eat a lot anyway, but now it's to the point where at night I get so hungry that it actually gets really annoying. But I haven't been snacking, so. And generally, if you feel hungry because it's your body saying, hey, I'm going through puberty, feed me, but you don't really need to eat that much, as long as you're getting your daily amount of calories and the amount that you're supposed to be eating. So that's good, and I've kept off any weight gain that way. I've actually been losing a lot of weight because of the increased metabolism and the fact that I've been going to the gym most weekdays, alternating weight training and cardio, which was recommended by my doctor. They said that you should, if you're doing weight training, awesome, because it helps train the muscles that you're going to be getting, that are going to be growing. But you definitely need to have cardio because it helps your body shape better, because of the fat redistribution. So I've been doing that, and I've actually been losing a lot, so that's pretty awesome. Other things, I mean, there are some other things. They're a little TMI. I mean, mostly it's just the sex drive. Sex drive has definitely gone up, which is kind of annoying since I'm currently 6 hours away from my girlfriend. She goes to a different college than I do. She goes to a college in my home state. But nothing terrible yet. The mood swings actually haven't happened that much. I've noticed that I do get annoyed a lot more easily, but not so much that it causes me to lose my temper. And when I do get angry, generally it's just a quick flash and then it simmers for a little while and goes away, which isn't bad. It's controllable. So that whole thing about tea making you into a horrible rage monster seems to be not true, which is good. So other than that, nothing big. I've noticed I can hit lower notes now. I think it might just be, I'm not going to take it with a grain of salt, because for one, I'm excited, so I'm immediately going to say, oh, I think my voice is lower today, yay. But I do feel like I've been able to hit some lower notes. My talking voice hasn't changed much. I can still hit most of the higher notes that I had been using before, but when I make my voice lower, generally, I seem to be able to hit lower notes, or it doesn't put as much of a strain on my throat. So we'll see when the actual lowering of the voice begins. I've heard that it happens around 3 months, but I've seen it happen to some guys as early as 3 weeks. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes for me. Other than that, nothing else much. So I guess I'll cut the video here. Yeah, I mean, I hope this was helpful to you guys. If you have any questions, feel free to message me or comment on the video. Once again, I have the link to my transition Tumblr in the description, and you can go on there and send me an ask, or, you know, anything. I can answer it privately or publicly if you want me to, like, so, I mean, whatever you want to do. If I can help you, I'll help you. Alright, so I'm gonna cut the video here. I hope you guys have a good day. See you later.